back, Patriots. All right, this video, we have a Master Sargent. They're over 30 years on the job. And he comes up with rather unusual question. He asked me what exactly is the deep state. So I did my best to go ahead and try to give him some information and what he could look up and school himself on it, him and his beautiful wife. And then right behind that comes some students, some local students. And the young man is rather intelligent. And I hopefully could, I don't know, once again, steer him in the right direction. Because we do know how those colleges, how they like to go ahead and corrupt their minds. But the kid was a literary scholar. So he had some things going on for him, so he knew he was a wordsmith. And so that's what I do out there. As you notice, if you're a regular subscriber and viewer for my work, it's just being able to jump from one track to another, because that's it. I never know what's going to happen. And I work hard doing it, so please try to reward me for it if you can. Hit that like button if you like what I'm doing, and subscribe, resubscribe, because, you know, things aren't going to get any easier. They're going to be doing it rougher and rougher. I don't care how many meetings that the Googles and the Twitters and all these guys have with Trump. They're going to say one thing to his face and do another behind his back. All predictions are things are going to get stranger and stranger. So I'm going to become under increasing pressure. And I don't know, so pray for me out there. If you can't do anything else, you know, do pray for me. But if you can do something else, then please beyond subscribing and hitting the like buttons and all that good stuff, contribute. It'd be a big help. Really need that. So, you know, go to the store and get one of my designs, or hit the PayPal, or become a regular patron. You know, you go to my website at badassunclesam.com and hitting into those buttons, and do what you can. Reward me for this, will you? Really appreciate it. All right, and again, if you can't do anything else, pray for me. All right, let's get to the streets. God bless you. See you on the streets.
That prison reform bill he signed, would that affect you at all, or is it,
So I'm just part-time there, because I'm full-time military. So I don't know how.
What branch?
Army.
Army?
Yes, sir.
You've been in a while.
30 years.
So you work for me?
Yes, sir. You pay my bills.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you carry some rank with you then, huh?
I have a little bit, yes, sir. I'm a Master Sargent. It's all right.
He looks like when you go to Central Casting, he looks like a Master Sargent. Yeah. Give me Master Sargent, bring him out.
She's household 6 right there.
Oh, yeah. Terrific.
I am in charge.
Yeah. On the radio.
We all know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
on the radio, you have call signs. You know what I'm saying? So like Bravo 37, this is Alpha 6, or Chaos 6 or something like that. Well, Chaos 6 is the commander. So that's what we call our spouses, household 6, because they're the one actually in charge.
Indeed.
So she's household 6.
I know. It's okay. We're cool with that.
Well, we've got to keep it going.
I know we're cool with that. Believe me, we're cool with it. That's fine. We're cool with it.
This is pretty good stuff.
Thank you, sir.
So I guess you follow politics pretty hard, right?
Oh yeah.
So talk to me. What do they consider the deep state? Like, what is going on with like that? You know, all the shit behind that. So what do they consider the deep state?
Deep state are the people that be behind the scenes. Yep. You know, the entrenched, the ones that never leave, corporate leaders, a lot of the generals. The people in the secret societies, you know, the Bilderberg Group, the CFR, Club of Rome, Club of 300, all of these people that are families, the bloodlines that they seem to be interchangeable. They never leave, and they have their own agenda.
Right.
There's of course there's the speech got Kennedy killed.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend. You know, it's just shortly before they assassinated him. And it's speech got Kennedy killed, where he names it the shadow government. He calls out and says, "This is the shadow government. These people have their own agenda. They have their own way of doing things. Their misdeeds are never publicized. They have their own armies." There's a great book I just finished reading a while ago. Highly recommend. That explains the deep state in a lot of good detail. Connects the dots. It's easy to remember. Hope it's not prophetic. It's called The Killing of Uncle Sam. Highly recommend it.
Is that how Riley did it?
No.
He had all that whole series, killing Lincoln, killing Truman.
No, this is another one. So
Okay.
another one entirely. But this guy did a great deal of research on the secret societies, on the agenda of the elites, to go ahead and take down Western civilization, or have Western civilization rule, the English language's rule, but then to go ahead and corral the people and to put in a one-world government, as it were.
Okay.
You know. So it's extremely, extremely good book. I highly recommend they should be in every classroom. I mean,
They're killing what?
The Killing of Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
You're writing it down.
Yes.
There you go.
We will never leave.
Yeah, highly recommend that. That'll bring you up to speed in no time at all. There's also a documentary you want to watch, which I highly recommend. Of course, you're familiar with Procter & Gamble. Foster Gamble, heir to that vast fortune, because I think Procter & Gamble's, the third largest conglomerate in the world. He was being groomed to be a 0.00001%. He has an epiphany as a young man. And he goes, I'm surrounded by insane people. They're psychopaths and sociopaths. That's the thing. They're nuts. So he breaks from the elitist agenda. He makes this documentary, Thrive, Thrive. Excellent. The first thing he does in there is expose government cover-ups for over 100 years. Things they've been hiding from us, like free energy. And but then he goes into how and who rules what. And he does it very well, very simply. He draws the pyramid out. He says these are the rulers of the elite. These are the families. Then underneath them, you've got the bankers. You got the banks. Underneath them, you got the corporations. Then you got the governments. Then you got the military. Then you got the people. And he says they rule through intimidation, blackmail, murder, owning all the media. So propaganda.
Yes.
So it's a very well explained documentary.
What's the document? What's it called?
Thrive.
Oh, that's what the document.
Thrive. Excellent documentary. Oh, please do. I'll bring it. Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton. It's good for any crime in the world.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
How you doing?
We're great. How are you?
Oh, it's got a show.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Here.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
just saying what's up.
Yeah, cool.
How did you become badass Uncle Sam?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. After Katrina, I started working for a newspaper called the New Orleans Levy. We don't hold anything back. And so it was around for about 5 years and got very popular.
I see.
And got up to about 100,000 readers. So I was their political satirical cartoonist and writer.
I see.
And actually I had politicians afraid of me. I was having a ball. So
you're a cartoonist?
yeah,
Nice.
political satirist, commentator.
Yeah.
So I figured, well, let me take this a step further. Because everybody loved the levy. If I had a nickel for every time I heard the phrase, I love the levy, I'd be as rich as Trump.
Yeah.
So I figured, well, let me go ahead and take this directly to the streets, because nobody else was doing it. So I figured to do that would be genius, really stupid. And I've been having a ball.
Good.
Yeah, because from growing up, everybody walks these streets from around the world.
Yeah.
So the conversations and the people I meet out here are just stellar.
Right.
I love it. And there's no way I could ever meet a lot of these people in any other way.
This is true.
So, I mean, just getting out here and explain my work and have people come up and comment on it, finding out what they do and get their opinions on things. I've had a wealth of knowledge lately.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So what do you guys do here? What do you do? Going to school?
Yeah.
What are you studying?
We study at UNO. Yeah.
I'm a nursing major.
Oh, a tip of the hat to you. Such a noble profession that is. Well, no one goes into that. If you're rich, you actually want to help people. And yourself?
This is true. I'm an English major.
Another good thing we could use. Something else that's laid by the wayside we need to pick up. You know.
We'll see. I don't know how needed it is, but it's okay.
No, I think like, what do you plan to do with that? Probably go into academia, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know that UNO is necessarily like the entrance to academia, so I don't know yet. But maybe, or maybe not.
You got time to figure it out. It's a good stepping stone. I mean, you got it this way. You get a good background. I mean,
for sure.
And all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Are you guys political at all, or I mean,
I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm never interested. So
I participate in much political discourse, but I'm pretty apolitical. I don't like Trump, but it's more so to do with the fact that I just think he's like, kind of an asshole. Like I legit, like quite literally, I think if Trump was right here right now and I was talking to him, I just wouldn't like him,
I can see where you might get that perception.
Yeah.
Because he's not your run-of-the-mill politician. He's not that, statesman kind of guy.
No, definitely not. I mean, that's why he won,
Oh, well, no. People were ready to get rid of that crap.
Yeah.
They wanted someone to, if I had a nickel for every time I heard he talks like I think, I'd be as rich as him. So he had that appeal. But the people I've talked to, again, I only gain the knowledge from the people I speak to out here.
Yeah, definitely.
From him, and because I don't pay a lot of attention what these guys say.
Yeah.
I'm very skeptical of what anything comes over the airways or even the internet.
Of course.
So when I tend to be able to look people in the eye and speak to them, I've probably spoken to maybe 24 people that have had personal contact with him, policymakers, people that work to build. Like the guy put the pipes in his first building he ever built. Talked to 4 of his Secret Service agents.
Shit.
And just people that have run into him in general.
Yeah.
In general.
I mean, what's like the, what's
the consensus?
Yeah. What's the consensus?
Everybody I've spoken to has had personal contact with him and has come away with a positive feeling.
I've actually, funnily enough, I know someone that worked on his campaign. They did not agree with him. I don't even think they voted for him, but they worked on his campaign and they said the same thing. So I'll give you that. I just think, it's like what confuses me most about him is how he's constantly doing the same things over and over again. And this is more about, like, I guess I would say his Twitter and the way he handles media and, like, his press conferences or whatever. But he like constantly has these like sort of outbursts, and he does it over and over again, and it doesn't work for him, but he keeps doing it. And that to me either seems psychopathic or like a petulant little toddler, or you know what I'm saying?
Or
like,
he's a master at marketing. Understand that.
But that is still concerning. If it is intentional, then it's like whether or not he is a psychopath or just a narcissist or whatever. It's like, to me that's still like off-putting. It's just like,
I think it goes beyond that, if I may, because I'm a master at this. I'm a propagandist.
Yeah.
So I
totally.
It
goes beyond being off-putting, or it goes beyond
understanding that people's attention spans. Not everybody is as tuned as you are into the arts of language.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your profession. That's what you're into.
Guess so, yeah.
Words are your tool, so you're a master at that. I was marketing most of my life, so the psychology of the people is what I'm attuned with, and no marketing.
Yeah.
He's a master marketer. Read or listen to what a lot of Adams, the guy who's the cartoonist for Dilbert.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
Listen to him.
Okay.
Because he's a hypnotist and also a practitioner of propaganda. And,
Interesting.
Right? About what he talks about, how Trump masters the art of the psychology of marketing.
No, I believe it, but it's, I guess, like, the way he's employing his mastery of marketing and like what it's doing for this country seems to me to be poor. Like
Why?
he's
What would
poor,
be poor?
well, poor for him, but also poor for everyone. If anything,
poor for anyone.
He's not like he's just not. It's not efficient.
It's not efficient. We've got the most people working. We've got the lowest unemployment in the history of the United States. We've got the lowest black unemployment
we're also
in the
the
history of the
most
state.
politically polarized that we've ever been. You
Well,
know?
again,
And
I would attune that to being the powers that be that he's, because remember this, he was not supposed to be there.
No, I know.
That campaign was supposed to be Bush against Clinton. Now, when you look at it, so like I was talking to that Master Sargent that was just here, he asked me, what is the deep state? The deep state has been entrenched for a long time on an agenda to control us way beyond whatever he's trying to do or wants to do.
No, and I believe you. I mean, I'm not saying Clinton would have been better.
Or Bush. Neither one.
Yeah,
Because
no, definitely, yeah.
they would be the same side of the coin.
But I'm not convinced that he's not like. I don't know. I have a conspiracy theory friend who thinks Trump is also part of the same.
Then why are they going after him tooth and nail?
It's like all part of the act. I don't know that this is something I would necessarily like.
Well, about ready to find that
subscribe
out
to.
because Barr is the
But I mean,
real
he
deal.
was a Democrat. That's also considered.
I was a
Yeah,
Democrat
and,
once.
Of course, and people change their political views. And I wouldn't even necessarily say he's honestly not even necessarily conservative. He's more just like populist.
Well,
which I find that. Don't you find that a little? I mean, I guess you
he's
don't.
actually said that. He said that one time in one of his speeches, and he
Really?
and say, we ad lib
Straight up said he
sometimes.
was a populist.
Oh no, this is what he said. I loved it because he was in the middle of one of his speeches, and he just like went off script entirely, and he stopped. He goes, I'm gonna tell you something. And you're probably going to get that. I don't know. You'll get it. He goes, I'm not even a Republican. So I'm not a Republican. I says, I'm no more a Republican than you. He says, what this is and what I'm talking about. And you're going to get this because you're working people. You're going to get it. All I'm talking about is common sense. My policies are coming from common sense.
Yeah.
So that's what I am. I'm just a common sense guy.
Yeah.
So he recognizes that the polarity, though, that comes about is coming from the propaganda. So I'm a master at this.
But I would say that he doesn't do much to help himself. In fact, if anything,
he doesn't give a crap about that because
I know, but that's.
I mean, why should he placate to the game?
Yeah.
Why not upset the game?
I understand. It's just destructive. It's just
it needs destructive. You need to sometimes come in with a big sledgehammer and just go, boom!
Shaking things up. And maybe this, always dark is before the dawn. Maybe before we can be unified, we must be polarized. But it's just I feel like common sense would be, not going on Twitter and freaking out about the quote-unquote losers and the hater. It's gets to a point where you're okay, you might be psychotic or just extremely desperate or have extremely insecure. It's why does he feel the need?
I think he's pointing out what the masters of propaganda have been trying to do because they're always trying to get us to do this. Forever, the masters try to keep us fighting with one another, and he's putting. It's like when he points out fake news, he's saying they're lying to us, and they are.
No, I'm with you on that. Media is I mean, the whole thing is.
Oh well, thank you, sir. Very kind. Very kind. Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton for you. Good for any crime in the world.
Thank you for the chat.
Oh, thank you.
We're on the search.
That was a pleasure. Good.
Vegetables and other things. But you have a good one.
So what do you think? You think that young man has a shot? Maybe. I mean, he's not totally liberal, and he's aware. So maybe he has a shot of breaking out of the mold. I don't know. I'd like to see him come around again, though. He is local. Maybe explore some more. So again, if you like it, you like it. If you care, you share. If you can, contribute. God bless you, and do pray for me. Amen.